Hi, my name is Kayla Wagner, and I'm auditioning for FozFest. I wrote a spoken word poem, um, and through writing it, God's really shown me that I do have a voice, and that when I say something, it doesn't have to be nonsense. I can mean something when I say it. So, without further ado, here's the video. It's a little bit longer than 5 minutes because of this little intro, but here we go.
A rose by any other name would taste like wheat. Wait, no, that's not right. Here, let me try another. Roses are red, violets are hue. Glue. Honeydew? I'm sorry. I'm ruining my choice to open my mouth because I obviously don't know what I'm doing. My speech pattern isn't cueing words to dance out on the stage and act out a meaning. Meaning, this one act plays and acting out anything, and all I'm doing is showing I'm afraid. It's a bad idea moving up here. I was told this was the best way to face what brings me to tears, but taking this chance does nothing to enhance being brave. Instead, it only paves my heart stone cold with an added engraving of fear. I shouldn't be here. I should leave before I embarrass myself. Seize this one opportunity of reprieve before I weave myself onto my sleeve, because there isn't enough room next to my heart for me there. I mean, what if you don't like what I have to say? I'm already a walking cliche, talking in tongue twisters, twisting in your days when my tongue ties knots while I bite down to keep the butterflies from making me vomit. Yeah, running away. That's definitely the better option, or at least the easier one. It's way harder to convey my heart when it's stitched to my wrist because my emotions are so carelessly displayed. They're subject to be raved by my own trepidation. I live in preparation for my worst fears to be realized. I realize I'm afraid because I've never been good at this. Speaking, even when I know I should. There are too many things I could say wrong. Words hurt, and even though everyone says sticks and stones may break my bones, or words will never hurt me, they're lying. I mean, I've never seen a word that doesn't leave a mark. Words have power, especially when they turn into the sticks and stones we're throwing, and knowing that terrifies me. Don't tell me words don't hurt as they assert dominance in your life. They may not poke at your eyes, but the damage they inflict is still blinding, and finding your way out of that darkness is hard, especially without Jesus. Words are more pain than they're worth. I mean, think about it. It's at the word of a general that a sniper is able to take away. And at the word of a friend, that life can be yours. Our lives are controlled by a little thing with 4 letters, but I'll let you figure out what I mean. Words carry creation and desolation, and I don't think I can handle my being wrong. So people, please hear me when I say I'm afraid to say something. But I'm not the only one. I mean, we're all afraid to say something. I mean, speaking nonsense is easier than saying words with weight. But I can't wait. It may be blunt, but I can't stop the growth of this argument any longer. We can't keep obeying fears. It ties ropes around our wrists, leaving us like puppets. Fear pulls on our strings and makes us marionettes, and all we can do is watch our silhouettes form the alphabet because we don't have control over what makes our body shapes anymore. Even though it's a sign of war at our door, we don't even think about it. And pardon the potency of my prose, but the possibilities of the persistent problems I'm pondering prove too problematic for a person and any proximity of them to ignore them. It's possible fear can make walking man, lame man, make seeing man, blind man, make living man, dead man. Can you see the paradox I'm pulling you into? I'm not being paranoid, people. Fear puts us in a box without guards or locks because even though we can leave at any time, we don't. I laugh because it used to be different. All it took was a parent telling you was a part of your imagination, a minor exaggeration that could be ignored, but somewhere along this line we find life, and the fears became more than just daydreams, more than just short schemes of internal strife where we're the only ones screaming, they became realities. I look back and I pity who I was because back then I wasn't afraid. Back then I was told the world was made for me. I was told courage came easily and all it took was being brave. How wrong I was. I guess no one had the guts to say courage is not just bravery. It's not just hot nerve. It's not pulling yourself out of slavery, but the ability to discern, even though you're afraid, looking past all the fear and saying, I'm going to be brave. I'm going to be brave. God wants it that way, but we don't see a lot of that nowadays. I'm sorry for this demand, but I want everyone to lift up their hands and to touch their toes. Then your eyes, then your elbows. Go on, do it. Courage is saying no, even though the loudest in the room told you to. Am I losing you yet? Do you no longer want to listen? Because I know God's words carry friction, conviction on a higher scale that leaves people stricken, wanting for their lives to be rewritten. You see, now that I'm speaking, I'm not going to stop because I've been doing that my whole life. And guys, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being afraid. I'm tired of watching talking tombstones ticking tenuously off in the distance because they thought it was easier to be scared off than to face it. When are we going to realize that we're the paper and the pen? And in the end, we should really get back to writing our stories. And this time while we're writing, we should say something and mean something without being afraid.